What's up, friends? Today's topic is bad films from great filmmakers. Our first one on the list is The Lady Killers, directed by the Coen brothers. Joel and Ethan Coen and Tom Hanks have both been widely praised for their creative efforts. While they may follow different creative paths, different creative visions individually, putting them together for a dark comedy would still be a recipe for a guaranteed critical smash. Such a conceptually foolproof collaboration emerged with the 2004 film The Lady Killers, a remake of the 1955 British dark comedy film of the same name. The pairing of the Coens with Hanks did not yield the creatively acclaimed results one would expect. To be certain, The Lady Killers did not receive universally negative remarks. David Edelson of Slate, for instance, called it a very pleasant cartoon for grown-ups, while receiving special praise for the casting and use of music. However, the majority of reviews of the movie were mixed and echoed the sentiments of Nev Daniels of BBC, who, through this exaggerated and insecure world, while in many instances the stylized humor of the Coen brothers has elated as much praise as it has laughs, their approach in the case of The Lady Killers just didn't slay critics. With these sort of complaints, The Lady Killers earned a reputation as a movie that was less than the sum of its iconic parts. Our second film of the list is Jack, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. And if you didn't know, this film was also written by the director and writer and creator of the Purge series, which is surprising considering this film was supposed to be a film for kids or younger audiences at least. Just want to point that out before I go into the facts about this film. The Godfather, Apocalypse Now in the conversation. Throw a stone, you're bound to hit, an all-time classic, helmed by Francis Ford Coppola. But the iconic director's career was at a troubled place at the start of the 1990s. By 1992, Coppola had filed for bankruptcy 3 times, while his own The Godfather Part 3 had become a go-to reference for underwhelming sequels. Worse yet, his directorial career would hit its critical nadir with the 1996 family drama Jack, the story of a child played by Robin Williams who physically ages at an accelerated rate, while maintaining the intelligence of a child. The premise was meant to tug at the heartstrings, but critics were not moved. Williams works hard at seeming like a kid inside of an adult's body, Roger Ebert wrote. He has been ill-served by a screenplay that isn't curious about what life would be like. Nathan Robbins of The Dissolve, meanwhile, declared that with Jack, Coppola didn't make a family film so much as a film destined to insult the intelligence of anyone old enough to read. On and on the critics went, with much of the vitriol directed at the film's cloying sentimentality and its inability to tackle its central story with any depth. Number 3. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, directed by Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg has had his stumbles. Examples of films that were stumbles are Always, Hook, and The Terminal. But you can always see the thought and care put into the constructing of his you can always see the thought and care put into the construction of even his most baffling films, the BFG. This is not the case with the fourth Indiana Jones film. A misbegotten reach for former crowd-pleasing glory. That's the cinematic equivalent of a cash grab reunion tour. It's the lethargic replay of the hits, "Hey, it's the warehouse where the Ark is stored," bogged down by the ill-advised new tracks, and the campus chase is listlessly executed and aesthetically undermined by Julius Kaminsky's half-heartedly trying to appropriate cinematographer Douglas Smolci's visual style. It's Steven Spielberg's only truly terribly bad film. The number 4th film on this list is Star Wars Episode II: Attack of the Clones, directed by George Lucas. While The Phantom Menace has long been the whipping boy of the Star Wars prequel trilogy, it's the middle entry in the circle that deserves the majority of the eprium. There are things like Obi-Wan gumshoeing on Kamino, Christopher Lee hamming it up as Count Dooku, but that's supposed to be the heart of the trilogy, the blossoming of an ill-fated romance between Anakin, played by Hayden Christensen, and Padme, played by Natalie Portman, is written and performed with all the depths of a bad and sentimentality of a bad One Tree Hill episode. Although in terms of serious continuity, Annie whining about sand is about as granting as Luke griping about power converters. So maybe this was a carefully orchestrated annoyance on Lucas's part. This is no joke. Roman Polanski's Pirates of the Caribbean. I wish I could say that as a joke, but it's a legitimate thing and it happened. He loves Disneyland. Turns out he actually loves Disneyland and wanted to make a film that recaptured the spirit of one of the park's central rides. What he delivered was a crude, resoundingly unfunny mess that, if nothing else, depicts the scallywags milieu in a tactical manner that shrieks for an auditorium presentation. Walter Matthau fetched a $1 million payday for this film, which was hard to come by in 1986. He spent the rest of his life trashing the film when prompted, which was by far the most entertaining thing to come out of this god-awful film. What's up, friends? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week in another new video. Peace out.